Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua, and this is my case study on my client of choosing under role therapy. Role therapy, sorry. The client demographics of the client I chose was Paula Cortez. Paula is described as a 43-year-old Hispanic Catholic woman who resides in New York, New York. She has a 5-year-old daughter named Maria. Paula also has a son with her ex, David, who's her ex-husband, who is 20 years old. Paula has suffered abuse from her childhood via her parents and in her adulthood life from her domestic partners. She lives with her daughter currently in an apartment in Queens, New York. She often feels isolated and closed off to the rest of the world. She currently reports that her family lives in Colombia, so she has limited contact or support from them. Another big issue with her case is she has been formally diagnosed with bipolar disorder, HIV, AIDS, and Hep C as a result of her choices. Which they all coincide with each other. Presenting problem of Paula Cortez. Various susceptibility issues in the framework of social work practice denote issues, dangers, harm, and unfulfilled desires that affect a person's capacity for success in both their personal and social lives. Victims and survivors of complex trauma. For that quote, basically, it means all the issues that one goes through in their life, especially from childhood to adulthood, the childhood memories actually invites, can sometimes be a precursor for adulthood issues. Now, in Paula's case, she is a victim of emotional and physical abuse trauma from her parents' inner childhood. Then, flash forward to later in her adulthood life, she began dating a guy named Jesus, who she had sexual relations with, and suspected that he was an illicit drug user. And later on, through observing her case, Jesus then tried to keep communication with her, but he was becoming more controlling and problematic. During some time, when they were in communication, Paula realized she was pregnant. This is when he kept threatening her. At that point, Paula decided to get a restraining order against Jesus. During this point, that's when Jesus decided he did not want to raise a child. And so that's when he started threatening her. Also, part of the problem is Paula is dealing with bipolar disorder and paranoia and was previously using drugs till she found out she was pregnant to cope with everything. As a result of the conditions that I mentioned thus before, that has led to drug dependence and vulnerability on her, unfortunately. Lastly, for the presenting problem, social justice and oppression theories, for instance, explain how specific individuals adopt and embrace identity, such as the role of a survivor following a rape or childhood abuse trauma, along with associated daily patterns such as volunteering for a rape crisis counseling center. Relevant roles described. In Paula's dynamical case, she tackles the parental role, the sick role, the overachiever role, and the fearless leader, and various others. Based off of Paula's medical history, she will always suffer and have to maintain a positive outlook on her situation, as there is no true cure for her physical and mental health conditions, but there are ways to remedy both coincidingly. Even though Paula lost custody of her oldest son, she plays the parent role for Maria, who is not aware of what is occurring presently. Analyze the client's social expectations. With the societal growth of the group, boundaries of role expectations and functions such as feminine and masculine roles may alter throughout time. Role transitions throughout developmental and life transitions shifts are just two examples of the many reasons why someone could change their role performances or roles in general. In Paula's case, she is expected to deal with the many contrasting roles all combined into one major role, as she is a mother and she placates into the sick role with her mental and physical health. Even when Paula is feeling sick or depressed, her biggest priority in her life as a parent in the parent role should be to care for her younger daughter. Describe role constructs. The role of the social worker is to educate. The social worker assesses any given situation and evaluates whether they are utilizing the best strategies and or approaches. The social worker educates the client and decides what the best course of action is depending on the client's perspectives and outcomes. In Paula's case, she plays the sick role and the parent role, which I've stated before, interlock with each other. The social worker must work with Paula to be able to better perform the parent role and help her to fully grasp and perform her parental role responsibilities in that specific role. 3 assessment questions that I theorized. Well, not that I necessarily theorized, but I found from the book that I actually found interesting. To what degree are rights, privileges, and social positions coherent and justified? To what extent are the social requirements of a role inconsistent with the respect given to the person or collective in the related social positions? Lastly, how much of a paradox of significant power exists within the position has low social worth generally, but great value in certain social contexts. For instance, narcotic traffickers. Intervention number 1 in Paula's case. In Paula's case, it would be beneficial for her to talk with the social worker to first weigh her options for treatments and various support groups. Simply by utilizing the strengths-based approach when helping Paula, I theorize she would be able to comprehend and better care for her child, who she is afraid of losing custody of. In order to address the issues, risk, needs, harm, strengths, resilience, and human potential that individuals and collectives experience or exhibit within the context of personal and social functioning. Some social workers have explicitly applied role concepts, theories, and presumptions about roles as acted out. Intervention number 2. Social workers may use one or more interventions with a variety of practices, concepts, and logically intersecting theories to support a cognate and integrative approach to personal and social change that is desired by such improved parenting or required, such as ceasing to act in the capacity of custodial parents, the clients. In Paula's case, I would recommend that she reevaluate the way in which she raises Maria, as Maria is not fully able to grasp the severity of her mother's situation. By increasing her parental role, she is providing Maria with the best possibility outcome as a result of the therapy or theory that is utilized in her dynamical case. One advantage in Paula's case. Over the years, Paula has shown resilience to maintain a more beneficial life for herself and her family. Regardless of what she goes through, she has the ability to bounce back from her various health and physical ailments. Due to being the parent under the parent role, Paula is able to stabilize and maintain a proper household for her growing children. In order to address the issues, I'm actually not sure why that one is in there. That was from the one before. One limitation in Paula's case. Some roles may have relative stability and continuity for a period of time, such as parent or child protection social worker, and may be associated with resilience. In Paula's case, she is stuck in the sick role as she is suffering, which is not any fault of her own. As a single parent of 2 children, she will always be the mother, but because of her ailment, those are 2 roles she will always have. And that's basically it.